On this Sunday evening,
Hello.
people. Hello, Amy. Yeah.
Hello. How are you?
I'm alive. I'm awake. I've been literally vegetating the entire weekend. It's been marvelous. Like
Really?
in bed. And I woke up like earlier when you phoned me. I was like, actually, I'm alive. Let's do a stream.
Yes. I've had quite an adventurous day.
Yes, tell me about it.
I'm not going to go into details, but yeah, my uncle fell today, and it's very, very scary trying to treat wounds, and you really don't know what you're doing. And you know what was really scary for me was just to see when you get older, like how your skin becomes like so thin, paper thin. That was very scary, and it just reminded me because I helped out at the house because all my aunts were like quite shaken up, so I went and hung the laundry for them and all that, and I'm like busy hanging up all stuff, and I'm like, you know how important it is to have muscle, like on your body, like on your, you need muscle. That's like your life insurance. Otherwise, this is going to be your future. So it kicked me in the ass to go train again because I have been pretty bad with my training. I've been pretty shitty, but yes, that was my eventful day. My family is going back to Durban, unfortunately, and then I'm going to see them in June. Yeah.
Okay.
Traveling again. Yeah. Hello, JC.
Hi, JC. Yeah, and obviously this is a real sporadic stream.
Isn't it always?
Not always. But yeah, generally, yeah. And that's what women, I think, like we plan so much of our lives that it's nice sometimes just to do something spontaneous. Yes?
Yeah, obviously. I love spontaneous stuff. I hate boring lives. I like routine, I do, but I also like going on a hiking trip just like randomly, or like a getaway, or I don't know, sex in a forest. I don't know.
Ooh, sex. Sex in the forest. Have you ever? Isn't that like a shooter? That should be a shooter. Wasn't that like a shot of something?
I just know blowjobs. Those are shooters, and they're quite creamy. Okay, I'm just going to stop. This is not Pilates.
It can be. Well, it can't be because I don't know. So fuck all about guns. Yeah, no, talking about the muscle thing, like it's been worrying me. Like the stream's obviously entitled "What Women Think About," and yes, health. So obviously it's food, sex, and relationships, right? Or beauty, health, and yeah, other things, alcohol, religion. Like our brains are always working. It's not like men who actually have a decompartmentalize and can actually stop thinking.
Yeah, no, I never stop thinking. I'm an overthinker.
Oh, totally. No, me too. And then it causes me anxiety. Yeah, and I think since COVID, like I actually try and think what my boss is thinking about. In that, like, oh God, is he thinking, okay, our pay's going to get cut, and this is going to happen, and that's going to happen, and yeah, it's been a rough year, and there are a lot of people I think that are suffering mentally.
Very true.
Do you also think?
Yeah, no, go.
No, like overthink in the car, like when you're driving somewhere, you plan everything. And you think in the car, and you just, besides swearing at people that piss you off in the car too, like road rage.
I must be very different because when I'm driving, okay, I have like my heavy metal on, like my proper heavy metal, and I love it. Like my hair is blowing, I listen to my metal, but then in my head, I'm busy thinking like, what is Bill Gates up to? Like, what is his plan? Like, is this all a plan to like get out the week? Like, I have all these like weird conspiracy theories in my head. Let's not get down that rabbit hole because I'm all about the conspiracy theories.
Yeah, at the
moment. My family actually trolls me all the time, by the way. My family calls me a tin hat.
A tin hat. Walk around the house with your tinfoil hat on.
I will.
Like, yes, Amy's a metalhead. Yes. What kind of metal? Like, and I meant that like in like a duality. Yeah, so what do women think about? And the thing is that one thing I realize women don't talk enough about, and that's our health issues. We don't talk about having breast exams or going to the gynae or none of that. We don't.
I don't think anyone wants to hear my shit.
Why not? It's important. There might be people who can relate. I mean, we can always talk about your. We don't have to. We can always talk about like how. Like I always wonder how do you just know one day that like you had cancer, right? Like you've said.
Yeah. How did I find out? Like randomly. I didn't even know I had cancer. Like it was so weird. It was about 5-6 years ago. Look, I've always been like a cold person. Like I've always, like when I was living in India, I used to wear jackets in like 50-degree weather. I mean, who does that? Anyway, so I didn't really think about it. I thought this was just me and all of that. And I had my child, and then she felt really ill. So we took her to the emergency room at like 12 o'clock one night. And, you know, like one thing I hate, this is just a pet peeve, is like, don't keep me waiting. Like, I hate wasting my time. Like, and I sat there for 2.5 hours before a doctor could see me. And I have a sense of humor failure. Like, I just can't, like, then I become a real fucking bitch. Because now you're wasting my time. And I understand they're busy, but like, geez, like, just communicate a bit. Anyway, so they finally saw my child, and I just randomly said to, I think her name was Dr. Peters, can you just feel this lump that I have here on my neck? And then she was like, okay. She felt it. She was like, honey, she used to talk like that, honey, you need to go see a doctor tomorrow. I'm like, what? Like, what? This thing was like the size of a pea, okay? It was like really, really like this. Like, and it had like its own little heartbeat. It was very weird. So I didn't really think much about it. I thought it was like a swollen gland. And she was like, no, you need to go see a doctor. So I booked the appointment, and I got a sonar scan. You know when you have a pregnancy, they do the scan? It was the same machine.
Yes, what's it?
Ultrasound.
Ultrasound, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, the ultrasound. So they did that, and then I just lay there, and then the technician walked out, and she called the doctor, and she was just like talking amongst themselves, and then they walked out, and I looked at the screen, and all I saw was white. And I'm like, well, that's not great. Anyway, they said just go book an appointment, an FNA, which is fine needle aspirator. And then what they basically do is they take it's like a fine needle which they actually stick into the tumor, and then they suck out whatever's in there. And I will never forget this. I remember the sound of that. I will never get that sound out of my brain. It was like a
Sure. So
anyway, so they did the pathology tests and all of that, and then I thought, okay, it's gonna take about like a week or so. And they literally phoned me the next day. They were like, we need you to come in. I'm like, no man, rubbish. Just tell me over the phone. They were like, no, legally we can't tell you over the phone. Like, you need to come in. Meanwhile, they had actually phoned my mom prior and said like Amy had cancer, but they wouldn't tell me. So we had to actually go to the hospital. So I phoned Carl at the time, and he worked like in Santon, and I was like, you know what? I don't care what the fuck you're doing. You drop all your shit. You taking me to the doctor right now. Like, they need to tell me my results. So he managed to get us there, and then they were like, no, you have cancer. And you know what? I don't know if you've ever played like Call of Duty or like all these shooting games. When you throw like a smoke bomb or whatever, like a grenade, and then it completely goes white and you can't hear anything. It was literally like that. It was like I was like in a game, and I could hear like a little bit, like the volume or like in my head turned down. Could hear like a little bit, but then I walked out and I looked at myself in the mirror for the first time after my diagnosis, and I was just like, Jesus, Amy, you have cancer. And then they signed me up on oncology, and don't even get me started with Discovery. I have a love-hate with Discovery, but they wouldn't authorize my surgery to get my thyroid removed. Anyway, a flashbang, that is it, a flashbang. Anyway, so Discovery wouldn't approve my surgery. I had to fight with them, and eventually they just would not reply to me. They would, like, it was like a wild goose chase trying to get someone to like authorize it. Eventually I went to the bathroom at work and I actually just broke down into tears. I'm like, I'm never going to get the surgery approved. And the HR lady actually walked in that moment. Like, everything happens for a reason, I think, actually. Like, timing is everything.
Yeah.
And she looked at me, she was like, what's happening? I'm like, they're just not approving my surgery. Like, they're just not helping me, you know, with my cancer. And she was like, this is absolutely bullshit. She went and spoke to the financial manager at the company I was working for. And he was actually friends with, what's his name, Adrian Gore or something, like good friends with him. And he actually got on the phone with him and he was like, this is how you're treating one of my staff members. And then that day my surgery and everything was approved.
Wow.
500,000 Rand later. 500,000. Guys, if you don't have medical aid, you should get medical aid. Like, proper. 500,000 Rand later for like, just to get this removed. It was my radiation, it was my hospital stay, obviously, like with all the scans and all of that. 500,000 Rand later. And that was just like a normal thing.
It was like a small procedure. No, it's hectic. And also, if the men who are watching, if you have women in your life, encourage them to go, because women, we become so, like, I was actually thinking, like, TG and my son, they never think about like the dog and how much dog food's left in the pantry, right? Like, these are things women can't. Like, you actually can't how many tins and how many portions your dog or your cat eats. Like, you need to understand that we're constantly thinking about this shit. How many eggs are here? How many this is there? What we need to last to the end of the month. And we're constantly thinking about stuff, and that we so often forget about ourselves. We don't think about, or we'll think, I've got a weird lump here, or this doesn't feel right, or my boob's a bit sore, or this doesn't feel quite right, or I'm a bit stingy down there, or whatever it is. We don't pay attention to ourselves because we're so busy looking after your ass. So busy.
But we should be looking after their ass.
No, we should. We need, either they need to know about these things, and we also need checks. I mean, I know men who just never go to the doctor, never go to the dentist, never, until you have to nag them to do anything about something. You know, it's exhausting. Hey, give me a clear.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've completely changed. I never used to put myself first. You know, I always used to put other people before me, but now, you know, like, I also deserve to feel beautiful and looked after. Like, yesterday I went and got my nails done. Like, that makes me feel nice. Thank you. But that makes me feel good, you know. It makes me feel confident and beautiful and like a girl, even though sometimes I think I'm a man. Because no, not in that way.
Oh, God, here we go. No,
we're not getting into transgender shit. That's for germ warfare.
No, that's a stream for a whole nother day. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you listened to on the group. By the way, anyone who's watching or watches this, there is a Telegram group if you wish to join. It's called Rebellious Group 2.0. It's not even Ruth. It was just something I quickly made. But we were discussing how, like, my son, speaking of that, was pressured in a relationship to say he's not straight. And he's 15. So there was all of that. Like, these are things moms think about, right? And I'm very proud to say I have an amazing relationship with my son, that he can actually come to me and tell me this shit.
Good.
So yeah. But yes, medical aid. So I remember TG also never had medical aid, and it would be our biggest pet peeve. And eventually I got him to ask his boss, look, I think it's actually not a medical aid, it's a hospital plan. I don't know. I think it's not a lot, but
at least it's better than nothing.
Nothing. At least it's that you can go and see. Because look, as you get older, and you don't want to end up, I would rather go without so much, like whatever it is, than not have a medical aid. So my biggest expense, more than my car, more than everything, is my medical aid.
Yeah. Mine is 5,000 rand a month.
Wow. And that's only for you?
Only
sure.
For me.
Wow. Yeah, mine's
it's because I'm high risk, that's why.
Okay. Then my friend
I'm not really high risk anymore, but like, you know.
No. Are you on the Vitality? I'm not on Vitality, because that's what, an extra 380 rand a month?
Good idea. I need to actually cancel that, because I actually just got it for Virgin Active, but since I got myself banned from Virgin Active for being a rebel, I need to cancel that actually. Thanks for that reminder.
Yeah, and these are all the things we chicks think about: admin, bank fees, banking. God, you name it. We never stop thinking, and oaks are like, chicks are mad, and I'm like, no, we're not. We're just trying to keep up with like everything, and then we'll have panic attacks, or I'll. Yes, last year I had quite a few panic attacks, and just because life gets too much, like we overthink things, and then.
But don't you think that you should be taking time out for yourself then?
Yeah, well, I did that this weekend. It was incredible. So we went to bed late Friday night, and I woke up. I had this annoying neighbor. I'm sure I've mentioned the one on the Sexy Time stream who goes, when she heard the neighbors busy going at it, went, oh my God, I wonder what they're doing. So she has a very loud voice, and she wakes me up. She incessantly calls her husband's name, okay? Not while they're doing it, just as a matter of fact. So at about 7:00 on Saturday morning, she was doing this, my alarm clock. And then I thought, okay, I'm just going to really try fall back to sleep. Obviously went to the loo, climbed back into bed, and thank God I went back to sleep. And I slept till 10 to 12. I haven't done that since I was a teenager. I swear.
Wow.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I got to sleep. So it's like so good. Like women in sleep. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I know. I think that's, if I ever do have more children, it will be like a shock to my system, because, you know, babies, like the first 3-4 months is like the worst.
The first week or two, it's sort of okay. Well, I know with my boy, he just slept like the first 2 weeks. I was like, okay, this is piss easy. When it came to 6 months and getting him to sleep, driving him round and round and round, trying to get him. No. Look, I don't know if people say I look younger than I am. I'm 42. I can't have kids anymore. I've had a hysterectomy. I'm grateful for doing my time. I couldn't take, even if I have disturbed nights. I can't function. I'm like a zombie. I can't do it.
So how I used to combat that was, I literally said to myself, I will never be one of those mothers that wear track. And I'm not trying to offend anyone that is a mom that is watching this, but I just said to myself that I will never ever be that mother that wears tracksuit pants, an oversized t-shirt, with her hair screwed up in a bun, with fucking slops or slippers, that goes to Macro and buys bulk. I will never, ever, ever fucking be that mother. I will shower every day. I will do my hair. I will put makeup on. I will dress nicely.
Go, girl. Go.
And I did that. And it really helped. You need to also look after yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to look after anyone else. That's
the truth. And the guys out there who are, it's remember your woman folk. Like Yeah, or your women folk remember your women folk, or your men remember your men. I don't know. There's just
Also,
all your bases.
omega 3
Oh yes, and vitamin B is great too.
helps
Vitamin
a lot.
And that's what we chicks. And safety, I don't know. Lately, I cannot leave the house. And I'm hoping to have Mr. Dear Brian Meany on the show as well coming up.
Woo!
Ooh, yeah, he's like, I really see him as a spirit animal. He's such a cool.
He's great. I love him.
I don't know. We're gonna probably talk forensics or something. I don't know, or yeah, safety. But I literally. And it's funny how you become so accustomed to your surroundings that you forget. But last year, when I actually became a bit agoraphobic, is it the right word? When you're scared to go outside?
No idea.
I think it is. But I had these anxiety where I was like scared to get in my car and drive to the shops. Not so much of the virus, just because there was like no one around, you know. And you like,
it felt like the zombie apocalypse. Yeah, I remember. It was kind of weird. I was like, yes, where are the katanas? Where's my shuriken?
Yeah. No,
the zombies didn't come.
Hmm?
The zombies didn't come.
Oh. Wait, it's still coming. Wait till after the vaccine. Wait.
Did
you see a little movie called I Am Legend?
I was actually talking about it today. I went to Vodacom. I'm getting a new phone. I'm still deciding. Like, I think I'm gonna go with the iPhone. Like, I really am. We had that discussion on Germ Warfare's private group.
Yes.
The sponsors, and I think I'm gonna go for the iPhone. But there was a guy, and I was so amazed by him. Black guy. And he was like, why do you want to get an iPhone? Like, Samsung is so much better. And I'm like, actually, you know, I'm trying to like not use Google apps. You know, like the whole discussion on the Germ Warfare group. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to get
it. I looked at it today and I saw there were like 400 and something messages, and I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, it was about Google and Bill Gates and all that. So
okay.
I really hope this video doesn't get flagged because I'm saying the BG. So anyway,
Bill Gates saves lives.
You know, it's all about saving lives. Hashtag wear your mask.
Yes.
Hashtag saving lives.
Hashtag fish poo saves lives. Remember that one? Yes.
Oh God! And this guy was like, I can't remember what I was talking about, but he was so amazing. He was like, I don't want to send my kids to school. I want to like homeschool them. I'm a conspiracy theorist, he said. Like, I'm into conspiracy theories. I'm trying to grow my own food. I'm like, oh my God, you're one of us. Like, this is like, we need you on our team. He was just so amazing. I can't remember why I was telling you.
You were telling, I don't know, you were talking about the phones, and you were talking about the phones. Hey?
Can you hear that noise?
Which noise?
It's aliens.
Is it a buzzing?
Yeah.
Baby, just hold on. I think it's is that better? Is the buzzing gone? Because I my transistor in my lights acting up. It's time for a new one.
JC says YouTube, you rock. Absolutely. It's all about
YouTube
big
rock.
tech. Thank you, YouTube. All hail Facebook.
Yes. Facebook saves lives. Here we go. Yep, heard the noise. Okay, has it stopped now? Has the noise stopped?
Yeah, I don't hear it anymore.
Okay, maybe
anyway. I don't know what I was talking about. Oh,
okay, you were talking about phones. Which phone to get?
I Am Legend. We were talking about I Am Legend.
Yes.
And he was just like, he was so disappointed that, you know, he didn't get to kill zombies. And I'm like, don't worry. It's going to come.
No, I'm going to that's it. You were talking about muscles as well. I have to get in. I actually really worry about my heart. Like, I'm so unfit, and I'm thinking I'm starters. I'm grazing for zombies. I am. Like, it's like what's that movie Zombie with the guy from what's it? Natural Born Killers. What's his name? Woody Harrelson. Is it?
Oh, it's Zombieland.
Zombieland, yes. Where like in the beginning you see the people running and the fat people all get like charred first. Hey, that's me. So
No,
don't worry, I'm here.
that would
I'm
be
gonna be
me.
eaten first.
That would have been me last year, but Tim Noakes saves lives for real.
Mm. Mm. Yes. Oh yay, Erica's here. Hiya. Lovely to see you.
Hello.
Maybe later she'd like to pop on as well. Yeah, I love that movie. The saddest scene was when he had to put his dog down.
I know. Look how cool my cup is.
I love that. That's the one I wanted. But then you've seen Mr. Show My Mugs. Mr. Show My Mugs. Okay. Hold on. Let me go and get my mugs. Hold on. And I actually don't use mine because I don't want them to break.
Oh no, I use mine all the time.
I don't use. They're more like mementos. So this one was. Wait. Can I do this right? Is that right?
Love that. Love that. That's one of my favorite ones.
And then this one is the best. What every woman wants in a man.
So what does she want?
Good vitamin P and money. No. Ideally, but it's not real. That's not real.
No, it is real. We need some good vitamin D.
Oh yes, vitamin D. Yeah, vitamin D. Listen, if your girlfriend's grumpy, just give her some vitamin D. She'll be all good. Do you hear that, TJ? Do you remember, like in Game of Thrones, like when Daenerys got all like acid, when she like just cancelled everyone when she like mowed down. Did you see it?
No, I didn't watch.
You never watched Game of Thrones, so she was lacking vitamin D. She was big time. Like he hadn't
I've been lacking vitamin D for a long time, so I get some sun quite a lot. I go outside. Just gonna do this.
TMI. No, it's all good. But these are important. Yeah, you see, so Erica says, I'm happily single and no man. No, listen. Eventually we get to that stage where it's fine not to have a man, but I enjoy the company, I must say. I'm still at the stage where, but I at one stage I was thinking, fuck, they give a shit. Like they do. They really, really do. And you want to like, okay, why am I doing this? Hold on. It's a bit loud on your thing.
So my auntie, that came up from Durban, she has a very dark sense of humor. I love her. She's like the older version of me. Mm-hmm. She was saying, and I don't mean to offend any men on here, just know it's all
we love
joke.
Men and women.
Yeah, and she was like, you know what? When men get to 70, just put this in your will when you get married. But like when a man gets to 70, he needs to be euthanized.
What? A man needs to be euthanized when he's
yeah, because she was like, they just become very difficult. They become demanding and like they can't do anything for themselves.
Oh, that's before 70 as well. Hello. That's like,
yeah, my mom says it needs to be 60.
I think pretty much like always. That's why we were created, to help them. Like really. What was TG looking for the other day? I don't know. Something random, and it was right in front of him. It was like the peanut butter or something stupid. I'm like, in the cupboard. Where? I can't see it. Where is it? It's right there.
Yeah, I love my aunt. She's
get over it. Build a bridge.
Advice.
No, life is much less complicated on mine. No, look, I think you get to a point, but it would be very difficult for someone who's been alone for a long time to get back into a relationship.
Oh, yeah. I've been single for a long time, and I've pushed a lot of guys away. Like a lot of guys were interested in me, and I'm just like, I can't.
But you have to find the right fit. You have to find the right fit.
In more ways than one. I'm just gonna stop now.
No, don't you dare. Yeah. So I see there's some new Nick Frenzel. I don't know if I haven't seen you before, and Simon Slomer. Is that right? Slomer. Okay. Well, if you're new and you haven't, we talk all things. I don't know. We get a bit naughty. We sometimes don't. We make certain people blush.
We talk about everything. Yeah.
We talk about everything. Yeah. I think. So what women talk about, we want to know that we're safe, that we're protected, and if you're an independent woman, we're still trying to create that for ourselves as well. Yeah.
I think safety is very important to make a woman feel safe.
Like not physically safe necessarily, but even maybe financially.
That's true. I'm talking about emotion. Like I'm talking about emotional safety.
Okay, you're talking emotionally. Okay. No, it's a complete holistic package. It's a complete holistic package. And no, definitely. You know,
I don't need a guy for money. I make my own money, and I have been. I don't need a guy for money. It's never been that. It's always been about like having that one person that you can actually do things with, like going overseas with, or having a family with, or whatever. But there are a lot of girls out there that do give the wrong impression. My stream just died.
What do you
Cameron, just refresh.
Oh, yeah, refresh.
What did the Bruce say? Okay, ladies, let me be honest. Your own insecurities drives the need to have a
man. Ooh. So remember I said asked TG, what are your insecurities? Like so he's like, you're a woman that don't plan things. Well, we're always planning things. Sometimes it's nice to do things spontaneously. Okay, your own insecurity drives the need to have a man. I don't know if I sort of get that. So I can understand what he means by that. But it's also for companionship. You know, we don't need a man. Look, would you say, I'm starting to think that women are more sexually, now that I've learned more, I sort of feel that women are more sexually needy. Maybe it's the emotional thing as well. Like, is that thing that women are just hornier than men? I sometimes think maybe. And it depends on every single person, and it depends on your emotions, it depends on your hormones, depends on everything.
Yeah, I do. I don't think women are as innocent as they make out. I mean, look at our stream.
We all have insecurities, everybody. And if you can't admit that, then you're living in like La La Land. Like we all.
No one is perfect. No one.
No one at all.
But I do think like women tend to be more naughty actually than men. Well, the things that women can talk about are like we go in depth of things where men don't really go into depth about their sex lives. Actually, like you'll never ever hear a guy actually talking about his girlfriend, like
what
like
she did,
like in depth.
I don't know. I think it depends on the person.
I don't know. I've never really heard.
I've never asked like my girlfriend. I've never asked like a fellow girlfriend. And TG, I think, was quite disappointed at one stage. Like I said, no, we don't discuss like sizes. Like I've never sat with my girlfriends and gone, okay, so how big is your oak's dong? You know, I don't do. What?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
I have. My girlfriends. Yeah, I mean, we have. I mean, we have.
Maybe.
I wish this was alcohol.
Yeah, I don't know. It's ample. Let's have that. And then there's the whole ocean. I think but I do believe sex takes work. I think sex, it's not just, look, if you're lucky, if it works off the bat, you're lucky. You're very lucky if it works. Like,
what do you mean? What do you mean by
there has to be chemistry. There has to be chemistry, but I don't think it's instant, right? It's not. It can be.
No.
If you've been waiting really long and there's a lot of build up and a lot of stuff, but there's so many issues. What? Who? What?
No. I'm listening to you and I'm thinking in my own head about.
Oh, okay. No, I'm thinking
build up.
Yeah, like a build up. There should be like a build up, and hopefully it all works. But it sometimes doesn't. Sometimes your partner might like certain things. Sometimes your partner might like other things. Sometimes you might like certain things, and that's why it's so important for women to communicate what they want.
I was just going to say this. It is very important. Communication is very important. In all aspects of life, especially in sex. If you don't feel comfortable with whatever, you need to let your partner know. And also, I know, sorry, the build up. Anyway, okay. Sorry, I just got a message. I'm blushing now. Gosh. What was I saying? I'm completely
the build up of getting into it. And then I saw, someone wrote, it's not about the size necessarily. It can also be about the mind and how sexy a guy is, how their mind works, how...
Yeah, that for me is like very important. You could be the hottest guy. You could be but if you don't have anything behind you, you have no substance, you have no depth, you have no sense of humor. Like humor for me is just great. You're going to get nowhere, and that sex is going to be so boring. It's going to be vanilla. You're not going to have anything.
Sure. So Erica's admitting something here that's huge.
What is she saying?
I stayed with a guy with no sex drive for 16 years. Sex is overrated in a relationship in the end. It's the character you end up with, especially when you get older. Okay, fair enough. Those things do tend to kill off. However, I was in literally a sexless marriage. That's why I call it my half marriage. Well, only lasted 9 months, and he never really moved. Yeah, he was too stuck on mommy's coattails. Or what's it? Coattails. What's it? Coattails? Anyway. Which and to me as a woman, especially in my 30s, now my 40s, sex is important to me because it's also that it's bonding. I love physical touch. That's why I could never, I don't know, this whole lockdown thing with not being able to touch people, and it's driven me a bit bonkers. Like I'm a hugger.
I know you are, and I'm a hugger too. Like I'll hug people.
Yeah.
I even kiss my family on the lips. Like my auntie, like we do that. Like my dad, like we kiss each other, like we kisses and huggers and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. Why am I forgetting so much stuff? Oh, sex is important. It is.
Yes.
No, sex is very important.
But maybe Erica's right. I think as you get older, it maybe does get overrated. But I think if I didn't have that physical bond with someone, I'd lose it. Like I wouldn't, I don't know. But that's what happens. Like what happens when a woman has she gets vaginal cancer or something happens and she can't have sex anymore, or there's certain people or guys can't get an erection, okay, even with tablets. What if, but it has to be about intimacy. No.
That's when I kill myself.
No. No, listen, we have toys for that now. We have toys, yes.
No, man. No.
Toys. No, it's
what's laugh without sex? There's no laugh.
No, I think everything's a compromise. But I think if I didn't have sex in my life, or to feel that, and how many women have sex and don't orgasm? There's something, the statistics are astounding. Astounding.
Sure, then she's mentally not here, because it's here for a woman.
Yes. So I've discovered you've got to focus on the feeling. And I think women also don't let themselves go. They're too scared. They're too fearful when it comes to sex. They're too hung up about their bodies. They're too hung up about overthinking things. Like, just go with it and concentrate on what's actually happening and allow your body to just enjoy. I've realized that in my 40s, and yeah, it's things are great. Things are pretty good for me. So
That's great. I'm happy to hear that, because I think as women we do have a lot of insecurities with our bodies, because the media also portrays women, and also porn is also a huge thing, where women have to be like so perfect. You can't have cellulite, you can't have stretch marks, you can't, you need those false eyelashes. This is what they're portraying women to be like, and then we come with our natural bodies, with like stretch marks on our boobies or cellulite on our buns. And then we think like, oh gosh, like men are not going to find us attractive. And then when we're busy having sex, that's all that you're thinking about. Like, oh my gosh, like what does it look like? Oh my gosh,
I experienced that in my 20s, and I actually cannot remember. It sounds crazy, but is it weird that I don't remember sex in my 20s? Not really, sort of. There are flashbacks with the partner that I had, but it's not like I remember. It's weird. It's like breaking your foot. Like you forget the pain, right?
It's like giving birth.
No, I had a C-section. I didn't give birth like that.
Okay.
Yeah. My son was 2 months prem. I was 3 months prem. Did you know? Do you know you could literally, like, I'm seriously like amazed that I'm even able to communicate. Okay, I don't do it so great, but I mean, like with my brain, you could, here it is, here's a bottle. So because I weighed 800 grams at birth, none of my bone, none of my had like calcified, like had become hard. So you could literally do, like if you had to, you could do that to my, yeah. I could stayed in the incubator for 3 months. And the fact that I'm not a vegetable, or I can function normally. Okay, I'm a bit short.
You are very short.
And Erica is apparently also very short. Erica says, I'm a hugger as well. I always forget which ones I probably flash like the same one over and over again.
You do. I've noticed this.
I'm sorry.
You need to be better, Ruth. Come on. Be better.
But if hashtag be better. Yes. Very, what? Demonstrative. I'm a hugger, very demonstrative too. Okay, is that word right? Did I say demonstrative?
Demonstrative.
Okay. Demonstrate. Oh, right. But I'm grateful for life's lessons. It's taught me to be fine being alone with me. I don't need a man to complete me. A man must compliment me. Okay.
Very true.
And vice versa.
Ways. Yeah.
And vice versa.
Very true.
Vice versa.
Also, if I can give any advice, like I'm a love expert, please don't take anything I say seriously. But I do think I am wise in some ways. I have a lot of life experience. But if you want to have a happy relationship, I think you should actually do that love languages test. The 5 love languages, and see which top 2 love languages your partner has, and that's the way that they want to feel loved. And you will probably see your relationship change a lot by just knowing how to love that person in the way that they want to love. Yeah.
Yes. And even with your family, if you don't have a partner in your life, even if it's with your family or your mom or your dad, like how, like I know with my mom, it's how I speak to her that she appreciates. Like she's very sensitive to how I speak to her. And that's her, I think that's one of them. How, isn't it?
It's a physical touch, words of affirmation.
Yeah, words of affirmation.
That's mine are words.
Really?
It's great. Quality time. I think it's.
Hold on.
It's gift giving and then acts of service.
Yeah. So I think mine are gift giving, acts of service. So if I do it for you, it's gift giving, acts of service. Hold on. Yeah, and then it gives you 5. Hold on. You click on the right bloody one. Woo! It's getting late. Sundays. God, tomorrow's Monday. Oh, it's not a public. I was so like happy last week when Sunday was and Monday was a public holiday. I was like, yay!
Now it's back to
And
reality.
yeah, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. Sure. So, okay. So I think it's gift, acts of service, physical touch. Apparently, you actually have all 5. They just go in different orders.
Yeah, so I learned this at a key store actually. I did the cognitive DBT actually, and they talk about love languages. And the top 2 are the top highest rated are your top 2. There's different percentages in the tiers. So
Okay.
mine, like, I like gifts, I do, but for me, it's quality, it's physical touch and words. That for me is like the most important.
I would go mad if I could, if this pandemic thing was an actual, like it was Ebola ridden, like you couldn't touch anyone. Like no. In fact, when I got to see my mom, we sort of snuck to the bank the one day. I managed to, before I had her stay home with me in December. And I actually, I hugged her, and that hug made me burst into tears because I hadn't seen my mommy in, I think it was November time. It was just as the levels were lifting. And I actually broke down crying because it was just so hectic for me to give her a hug. I hadn't hugged her since March. So it was like, oh, okay, this is awkward, in the bank. Shame. And everyone was like, oh, but they're still locked up where they are. I don't know.
Must be very hard for the older people.
And
I think South Africa is
Can you imagine the fear of an older person as well? If you've got nothing but SABC or ETV and all you listen to is this garbage, can you imagine how you actually get fearful? But I think a lot of them are stalwarts. Like a lot of them don't care. Like I have a granny who, she just thinks it's ridiculous and she carries on her life. And it's just sad. Like if you see an older person who's alone, give them the time of day. Ask them how their day's doing. Like,
that's why I went to go see my family today, because they are old. They don't get a lot of family attention. So I'll go out of my way to drive to them and spend time with them. I was going to say something now, but now I've forgotten. My memory is becoming really bad.
No. It's because you're talking to me. I do picked on people. It's the ADHD. We were talking about banks. Oh yeah, so I was saying about being locked away. Remember?
I wanted to say, when I went to hospital last year, when I was booked in, because of COVID, you're not allowed any visitors. So my mom came and saw me through a fence. So I went up to her and I touched her finger through the gate. And it was such a special moment. And the guard was like, no physical touch. I'm like, you fuck right off. You don't get to tell me what the fuck to do. You just back off, because I will bite you.
I'm not a zombie yet. Everybody watch out.
She was like, yeah, but you're not allowed to touch. It's COVID. I'm like, it's my mother. It's ridiculous. It's so bad. It's ridiculous. It makes me so angry. It pushes my blood pressure up. Why are we today? Today I went to Spa, and I know I always talk about masks on stream, but it is my thing, and I will never stop talking about it. So whatever. I don't care if you don't like it. But I went to Spa today, and I've now pushed the boundaries completely. I don't even. It's just here, and I'm standing there in the line, and then the cashier calls me, and she's like, "Can you please put on your mask, ma'am?" I'm like, "Absolutely not. I refuse to put on my mask." And she didn't say anything. They don't have anything to say. And the security saw me, the owner saw me, and they didn't say anything. So, and I said to her, the more we fight back with this shit, the more we'll get back to normal. Well, not normal, but you know what I mean, like
No.
without these fucking nappies on our face.
I don't know. I keep hearing of stories. The thing is, my problem is I'm so middle line at the moment, and I've been where you are, and I keep hearing stories of people who've gotten it, whether it's and they're not coming. I don't know. Oh, it's such a shit show.
I know you're a bit on the fence. I have realized this.
No, I in the beginning I was like, this is a load of crock, this is a load of this, and for the most part, I think there has been an exaggeration completely of what's happening around us. Completely, the way the governments have handled this is completely duh. But then you hear of people who've gotten sick and are no longer with us, and you kind of go.
But you have to also ask yourself, like, they had probably medical histories before that.
No, sure, but look at me. I'm like 20. My BMI is in the like over 30s, 40. Why is my phone going freaking crazy?
JC's so right. Look at what he's saying.
Hey?
Look at the comment. Look at the comment that JC just put.
Okay.
The mask won't prevent COVID. It's actually increasing the risk. Some people use the same mask over and over.
Over and over again, and then you'll get bacterial pneumonia. No.
Masks don't work. Period.
No, so someone I spoke to, someone in the medical faculty said, it's not, this is the problem. It's not.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So this person said, it's not to prevent you from getting it, it's to protect the other person from getting it. And, okay, you're going to call.
This is why I should not have a gun.
No, please don't get a gun. No, I should also not have a gun.
No, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that person said the exact same thing to me, and I'm like, cool, you wear your fucking mask, I won't. I walk in Greenstone Mall without a mask. Like, why are people not doing this? Why are people fucking sheep? Like, it pisses me off. Like, if one thing's pissed me off is this whole mask thing.
No, but people are sheep. And whether it would be the other way around, whether they would be telling us to hop on one leg and do the Macarena, people would be doing it. It's all, people are scared to be individual. People are scared to be thinking freely, thinking, face death head on, so I don't fear the coves. Okay, thanks. No, look, it's yes.
I think that's the only time you can actually wear a mask in a bank.
Eric says guilt people into.
I don't care. Then I'm selfish. I don't give a fuck.
Listen, I just know, like I said before, my BMI is not happy. If I need to see, I mean, my sister, she's an absolute fit queen. Okay, she's never had kids, and she's amazing, and she will be on the show one day to talk about her career with a particular SOE one day. But she's not ready yet. She worked for them for 36 years, and she saw it go from the greatest company South Africa ever had to the shittest.
Can I guess who they are?
Yeah. And yes, the stories that come from her, you must, that's interesting. And I don't know what I was saying now. But yes, that's the thing. That what your first point was. If I get this thing, if let's say now there is such a thing for 1 second, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Goodbye, Fair World. Love you. Bye.
Ruth, you would have got it by now. It's been a year.
You'd think so. Okay, I haven't licked any banisters and stuff, but I mean, I haven't exactly been hiding.
That just proves your own point.
I don't know, it's
Like,
bizarre.
I'm seen as high risk, Ruth. I go out, I've been traveling. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
Yeah, you've been on a plane.
I've been to Bloemfontein, I've been to Great Dam, I've been to Cape Town, I've been to Durban, I've been to Joburg, I've been to Hearties, I've
Been to Victoria.
like, Pretoria, you would think COVID would come get me. Ugh.
I don't know. But
It's been a year, you would have got it by now. Come on. And it's weakened. It's as it spreads, the virus gets weaker. Or am I wrong?
well, if you listen to like Germ Warfare's podcasts and some of the virologists he said, that's what they say. Well, that's what happens, is that it mutates and it either changes its look. In fact, it's not a good idea that we talk about this. We might actually get into real. I might get like flagged now.
Yeah,
Rebellious.
okay.
It's enough, but I think we're talking about our freedoms and our rights, and that's what. And women don't like to be chained. And if you're a woman and you're in a relationship that is suffocating you and is not good for your mental state, and you make excuses for being in that relationship, you need to have a plan and get out. Always have a plan. That's what I did in my main relationship. I needed to have a plan. I had to.
Really?
What? Yeah.
I've never had a plan.
No. I was in a very toxic relationship with an abusive man. And I couldn't just leave. I couldn't just, because usually women go, like, they'll have an altercation, there'll be a bit of violence and the woman will just get up and leave. And 9 times out of 10, the woman has to come back because she hasn't planned where she's going to stay, what she's going to do.
Oh, I thought you meant like with another man.
No. Wait, what? No. What? Wait. No. Me? Yes, one of my first. Okay, well, rewind.
Okay, wait. So you said you have a backup plan, like a plan. Does that mean like you have a backup plan boyfriend?
Oh, no.
Or,
no, not now. I'm saying if you're in a toxic relationship currently and you're not happy, have a plan so that, because anyone who leaves, like, let's say you have a fight with the boyfriend or your girlfriend and they've threatened you and and you just pack up and leave. You haven't got a plan in place. So you don't know how you're going to get to work, or your friend says, look, you can stay with me maybe 2 nights or 3 nights, but then you have to go somewhere else, and you don't have a plan. If you have a plan in place, okay, you've saved some money, you've arranged to stay here, there, and there. When it's time to leave, you can make that move. Make copies of documents, of birth certificates, of marriage certificates, of whatever it is that you need. Because often when a woman runs away from a toxic relationship, I don't know how we just got onto this topic. This is Rebellious Ruth, ladies and gentlemen. You don't know.
Welcome to a woman's head.
There we go. That's a woman's head. Tumble. You're not prepared, and you often end up back in the abusive relationship.
You're preaching to the choir. I did the exact same thing. I mean, I was very unhappy with my boyfriend. Very, like, it killed my soul every day being with this guy, and didn't earn enough money, and my parents weren't here. They were living in Austria, and, you know, at the end of the day, like, I had to stay with this guy because it was tough. I mean, I think they know that, so then they take more advantage of you. And I just said, you know what, despite the money, the comfort, whatever, I'm going to be poor and I'll be happy. I'll own nothing and be happy. I was already doing Agenda 2030.
Yeah.
I built everything up by myself. And I was so much better, so much happier. I actually found who I was as a person and started listening to music again, started painting and all of that. And if you not happy, you're not going to do the things that you love.
But most people don't know what they love. Most people don't know what they enjoy or what their passions are. No, it sounds crazy. Like if you ask a person, any person, what is your 5-year goal? What is your 2-year goal? What's your year goal? Oh, I don't know. You know, people don't think about these things. We need to plan our lives, because if you don't plan your life, if you don't structure something, you'll never get anywhere. And it's a lesson that I've had to learn. I live my day by day, and I actually live for my weekends. It's gotten to the point where
all do.
Like we just, yes, thrive weekend Friday. You know, and I'm so glad. Like, hopefully we will plan our trip in September to the Kaap. Remember, we said we'd do that.
Yeah, we will. Hopefully I'm that side by then, but we will be doing a trip to Cape Town. We'll be doing a trip as friends. Should all go.
But yeah, guys, so that's a little bit about, but yeah, I think if a woman needs to feel safe, she needs to feel secure emotionally, physically. Man also needs to open up. Okay, last thoughts, anyone? Yeah. Sort of
I don't know, just I think your goal idea, what you said, is very true. You need to actually stick to what you say, and hold yourself accountable.
Have a sense of try and figure out what your
hobbies are as well. If you don't have hobbies, fucking find one.
Yeah, or you know who you are, what your integral workings are. Like, who are you as a person? Your integrity. What makes you tick? I think that's what helped me also realize. Look, I mean, I'm not perfect, but I mean, know that is a no for you. That is a good thing for you. If a person does this, that makes them not cool for you, or not. You don't want to be their friend when they do that. You know, if they do that sort of, yeah. Anyway, I don't know.
I just want to laugh at JC's comment.
Yeah. Which one? That one?
Yeah.
No, it's true. Even that.
It's funny.
Even like you know, these men that like forget to lock the front door, like shit like that. Like, it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Erica makes a good point. Know who you are and be at peace with who you are. Very true.
Know your truth. I think she mentioned the other day.
Your core. I think you need to understand what your core is. And if you don't know your core, I don't think you know who you are.
But it's a constant discovery, isn't it? Because
for me, it was very, you know, I was working at a business school like 2 to 3 years ago, and one of the students, actually, he's very clever, came up to me and he was like, what is your core? And I'm like, oh, sorry, what are you going on about? And he was like, no, mine is to protect the ones that I love. And I kind of did some soul searching, and I was like, kindness and love are my core values. So, and my mom actually said to me the other day, you never used to stop drawing hearts when you were small. Even today, the hearts are my thing, and it must be like love. Love is my thing. I love love. And if you don't have love, you don't have anything.
No. But I think if you don't love yourself and know yourself, if you don't love yourself, you can't. And it's hard. Like if I go through a breakup or I'm going through something hectic, I struggle to be alone. I don't like being alone. I feel like I can't deal with all my thoughts. I can't deal with myself, which is not a good thing. Great internet, I've just shared like a very personal thing. Like, I actually fear to be alone. I have to be around friends, because I feel like if I'm alone too much, I'm going to panic, think too much, and I'm going to, does that make sense? And come kind of away.
So, like, I have a question for you just on that. Do you like your own company then? If you can't be alone, is it because you can't stand your own company?
I'm too
Because I
scared.
used to be like that. I could never be alone. I always had to go out every night or be here with my mom or whatever, because I had a breakup and I was like, shit, I don't know how to be alone. Like, this is the first time I've ever had to be alone, and it's difficult. And my mom actually said, Amy, you piss me off. Like, you need to actually like be on your own. Don't date guys, just be on your own, find who you are. And a lot of people told me that. A lot of people said, like, you need to find who you are as a person. Because I was in a 7-year relationship with this guy, toxic person. And I did some deep soul searching, and and I have to disagree with the Rue. I like guys that wear skinny jeans. But
Neither. No. Like, also, TG's got this fetish for skinny pants. I'm like, hell no. No, it's like too.
But I'm like that emo kid. Remember, I was that emo kid that loved emo kids. The guys that had long hair, like over their arse.
And skinny jeans.
And skinny jeans and skaters and all that. That was when I was young. I still like guys that wear skinny jeans. I like legs though. Oh, legs.
Oh yes, you've said so. You like your legs.
So like,
do I like being? I'm trying to answer your question. Do I like my own company? I think I do. It's kind of like a weird question. I've never asked myself that actually. Well, I like myself a little bit, so I've got to, I guess, like something about, I don't know.
Can you actually stay at home, let's say for a week, on your own?
By myself.
With like no contact with anyone.
No phone, no nothing. Imagine. That's a stream for another day. Imagine.
That's heaven.
Is that heaven for you? Okay, no, but no phone, no communication, like solitary confinement.
Yeah.
What are we talking here?
No, I mean, like, be in your own company. Like, just say we didn't have internet or phones and stuff like that. Or
maybe you can. You like after all the bombardment. Yes, I'd love it. Whether I'd choose to do it, it's a good question. It's actually a good stream. It's a very good idea for a stream. In fact, Clint wanted to talk about if the whole okay, we're not giving that away. But we're gonna do he's gonna do a stream on we've been burnt before, so we have ideas, we say them, and then oops, someone else suddenly starts, so we won't do that.
That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah. Oh, look, there's a little spider on the top of the. Is that a spider or an ant? Is it a spider? Hope it's not the other thing. I think it's a spider. What is it? Is it an ant? Okay. I'd rather have ants than other things in my house. All right. So I think, see, this is woman brain. Now we're talking about ants. Yeah. Ants. Hashtag ants save lives. And fish poo saves lives. Anyway. All right, people. We have run over an hour. Random.
Hashtag Facebook saves lives. Hashtag YouTube is amazing. Hashtag wear your fucking mask.
Wear that mask, people. Obey.
Obey. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. So thanks for having me on,
have
Ruth.
a great
And
Monday.
thanks to all the viewers for tuning in. Oh wait. It wouldn't be a stream if I didn't do the wear your mask.
Mask.
I just have to eat on camera.
Okay, well,
because
I want one of those white eggies. They were like $57 or something that I saw in the shops. I'm like, no. And the nicest, I think, in fact, Cadbury, you need to send me a free box, are the fluffies, the Easter eggs.
What's that?
The fluffies ones. They're the Cadbury one. Which ones do you like? The white shell.
The white ones, yeah.
Yeah, I know. The white ones are yummy, though. It's very nice. Stop it. You're making me have chocolate cravings. See?
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Jazz.
Thanks, Cameron.
Thanks, Cameron. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Erica.
Bye, everyone.